Hey y'all, welcome to the podcast for people whose moms died by people whose moms died. It's called No Mama No Manual. I'm Tiana.
I'm Brittany.
You are. And I cannot believe you got us about to do this on here. Okay,
I'm excited for today's topic.
Today.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm so excited.
We're talking about the strange things that grief makes you do.
In grief confessionals.
In grief confessionals.
Grief, baby, ate me up. Okay?
Okay.
Took a bite out of me, chewed it, spit it out.
So tell us more.
That's all I had. That was my summary. I don't know what else the episode going to be about. Okay, so my grief was different because my grief started before my mom even died. Because my mom was sick. And it was kind of like a long process. Not super long, but long enough to like where I saw her deteriorate. Mm-hmm. And my coping mechanism is humor. It was so dark. It was just so dark. Like the things I've learned to laugh at that some people, rightfully so,
Would be so offended.
don't find funny. Like, I also turned to profanity, which is still, it didn't change. Because one thing, first of all, I would just like to point out that part of my grief confessionals is I do not believe shit to be a cuss word. Okay. I think it is a grammatical tool. You can do anything with it. Okay. Make it a noun. You can make it a verb. You can make it a gerund. You can add an ing to it. You know what I'm saying? Perfect emphasis. So that don't count.
Okay.
Because that's grief confessionals it's just part of my daily vernacular. The word shit.
Okay.
The word shit is just, even when my kids say it rolls off my chest. right off my back, rather. Because
like, okay, yeah.
as long as you use it correctly, son.
Don't be out here embarrassing me cussing all
grief,
stupid.
grief confessionals. grief confessionals. Think what you want. My parenting book come out next year.
Okay, yeah. They seem to be, they're well-rounded, well taken care of, well-fed.
Very polite kids.
Very polite children. I love them very much.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. As for me in my house.
Tell me about it, T.
Dark humor for sure. Jokes be so inappropriate.
They
The
be
people be like,
bad.
why are you talking about Loretta like that? Why the fuck would she die? I feel like we're even. What?
Yeah.
But
Because Jackie definitely owe me money.
no, dead ass.
Like, for real, sis.
What? Somebody explain it to me. If you can, go ask her.
But what choice do you have other than to laugh, right? Like, for real, no shade to my mama, but she had to know Trump was going to be the next president.
She has to have known. And why she didn't say nothing?
You know what I'm saying? Because she was out of here.
You want to know something wild?
What?
I found a picture of my mama and Donald Trump. I'm going to send it to you.
Grief confessionals are wild.
Why do you have a picture with that man? What was you doing? But this is what I learned. Okay. Guys, grief confessionals. My mother dying made me feel like all the trips should be taken.
Okay.
And so part of that is because that's what my mama was doing. Like, I went through pictures and stuff. She was always somewhere doing something. And she used to go to Vegas a lot because our family is very close to her family, right? And so, like, literally for a very, 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 very long time, I thought we were cousins. Now I'm not so sure, but I actually don't care anymore. And so she would go to the fights. She would go to Vegas. And so I think that's where she met that Donald Trump at.
That
Donald Trump. She met him out there. And, but just not the Trump picture didn't make me feel like I should take the trips. But the fact that she was going places was like, I need to also be going places before I
living your life.
Because when she had me, the trips kind of dried up.
They slow down for a second. You eventually get back outside.
I don't know if she did. And I don't want to, not saying that once I have children, I am not going to get back outside. because come hell or high water, she's hitting those streets. But I don't know. I just really want to enjoy this time while I am young and childless.
That's real.
To just do.
Yeah.
Because I can.
Yeah.
Because there's going to come a time where, no, Tiana, you cannot take a 13-hour road trip and then take 20 hours.
Baby, there's going to be a time where you do not want to. Because let me tell you something. Okay. The way the children talk in the car. Okay?
Oh, right.
Let me tell you something. We're flying. Baby, I love them kids, okay? In these stories, we're on a plane. All right? Absolutely not. Grief confessional. I don't know what I'm doing with this motherhood thing. Why would you leave before you could tell me what to do with these kids?
Hello?
Guessing. That's my grief confessional. I'm guessing. Oh my God, winging it.
That's
winging
how I feel
it.
About all of life at this point. I'm not gonna cry today.
You probably will.
I might, but right now I'm not. You know what? When my mama first had died, I was doing whatever. I kind of wilded out a little bit, just a smidge. Like 20, she died at the end of 2018. 2019. I was bald headed and blonde. Maybe I was wilding.
That wasn't finger roll-T.
No.
Okay, so that was before finger roll-T.
Prior to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wild boy.
Okay.
Call me Steve-O.
Yeah. Okay.
But grief make you feel like that. Like I think you get to a point where Detroit is Detroiting. Get them or not.
We had just said it was a bunch of them over there too before we close the window. We can edit this out.
There's crime afoot.
It very well could be a fire. We don't know.
Or someone's hurt. Okay. And now I don't remember what I was talking about.
You said you was wild, Steve-O.
Oh, yeah. You get to a point, I feel like, in your grief journey, or some people do, I did, where I felt like I need to do whatever I could to feel alive, and not whatever I could, right?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's such a crazy thing because it's been so quiet all day.
But right now,
they gone.
Okay.
Per the Doppler, the way Doppler works.
Yes. So, not whatever I could to stay alive, like to feel alive per se, but it's like I didn't do cocaine or nothing like that. Some people did. Some people be doing that, and they mama not even dead. They just, no shade. Be careful. I personally am not, because I don't want to get addicted to nothing that expensive. Cocaine costs so much money. Like, that is somebody rent.
Wow.
And you just...
I have no comment on this situation because how did we even get here? Focus.
Cocaine costs people rent. And I just feel like maybe we shouldn't be... That's kind of wasteful.
Oh, boy.
Okay. But anyways, so y'all didn't go that far, but... little adventures.
But people cope in different ways.
They do.
You know?
And I think that maybe because I never had experienced such a grief, I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. Like, do I drink it away? Do I smoke it away? Do I fuck it away? Do I...
Okay, Solange.
Right? But and I didn't understand that song until I was like...
No, that's real. Yeah.
Oh.
That's very real.
Like, you can't really get on a plane away. And then COVID, right? So it's like, well, can't go nowhere. For real. So, yeah, it was very interesting trying to figure out, like, what worked to help me deal in that time. And I feel like maybe I'm still kind of figuring it out. I did eventually land on like journaling and therapy.
Put that shit in the water. You know how I feel about therapy.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's my civic duty and responsibility to say that substance use and substance use issues are a big deal. So,
They are. And I feel like if you are having a hard time figuring out how to deal outside of substances, please find you somebody.
Yeah. Because I think the point, right, and why people use them is pain. And that's ultimately, what happens. People are in pain. People are in pain. Because, like, the same way you kind of use wilding, it's kind of how I used work.
Oh, for sure.
Like, work and anger. I was just mad. I hated everybody. Fuck all y'all. Nobody did anything to me. Like, I just so unreasonable, irrational as hell. Mm-hmm. And then work. I hid behind work. Just everything that didn't have anything to do with me, outside of like working out, was my thing. Just keeping busy. And that's why I have learned to check on my strong friends, check on my busy friends, check on my deep resume friends, because that season of my life, I did so many cool things. And they were all to cover up pain. Like, I do so much less now that I'm in a good place. I'm in therapy. I can say my mom is dead out loud and not break down. You know what I'm saying? I am so much less busy. Like, keeping busy was my front.
Were you afraid to like sit with yourself in that season?
And it's funny because God will sit you down because, okay, true story. Because both of my pregnancies are a mystery to me, okay? Because I'm a bio major. I know how to prevent pregnancy. I'm a doctor. I know what to do, baby. Was not expecting either one of them children, okay? So I was about to go to Miami to see a friend at the time, and I was like, let me pee on the stick before I go.
Okay.
Because, what's the point of going to Miami if I can't drink? Baby, there were 2 lines, okay?
Oh.
So I was no longer going to Miami. I was having my second kid. I was in medical school, and my belly got bigger. And the bigger my belly got, the more pain my body was in, and I couldn't walk, right? So, like, I'm not able to go see my friends because I can't drink. I can't do fun things. And we're in our, mid to late 20s. Everybody, like, it was that weird time where, like, some of us were having kids and some of us didn't know where our keys were. It was like that time.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't really do much. I had to sit down from work because I couldn't make it through the hospital. Like, because I was in med school at the time. I couldn't even, like, make it through rounds. And, like, my second son sat me down. And I just had to, like, cry and sit with myself. And even then, I lied and I cried like I was crying because my sciatic nerve was hurting. I couldn't even say at the time that, like...
Why would you lie?
I didn't feel like talking about it. I didn't want to admit it. I did not want to admit it.
You didn't want to admit that you were sad?
I didn't want to admit that my mom was dead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was hard to say. I actually say it... It probably makes people uncomfortable now, but, like, I say it so much because the more I say it, the more my brain has been able to, like, make the connection that, like, that's the reality.
Yeah.
And I've been better able to adjust to that reality, despite the fact that I think it sucks. This shit is ass.
So
I hate it here, but that's my reality. And so, just not being able to be busy, not being able to go see this person, not being able to, busy myself with work, just sitting down, just sat me down.
Tragedy.
Hard times.
God really play. Or not. He won't play with you.
When you got something to deal with it, baby. The lesson will repeat itself until it is learned.
I'm tired.
Write that down.
I'm tired of learning some lessons. And you think you learned it. And then it come back up again. You're like, but what did I miss?
That's grief, though.
The other day I saw a thing that said, like, you will heal from the same thing multiple times.
Ooh. Talk about that, though. Talk about that. Because different versions of you. So, like, there was a version of me that, sure, I was a mom, but, like, my mom was alive when my first son was born. I did my second pregnancy without my mom. I did my second delivery without my mom. You know what I'm saying? There was a version of me that was a med student when my mom was alive, but like, bitch, why aren't you at graduation? Now I gotta cry.
Right.
I wouldn't have done none of this if it wasn't for you anyway. How dare you? You know what I'm saying? There was a part of me, like there were just so many different seasons of my life that I've had to figure out how to
navigate without your mom.
It's different. Like you said, the healing process is different.
Every time, and it's not like you can ignore it in the new seasons, because you can't. It literally it colors everything in your life,
and it pisses me off
every time.
These are my confessions. Pisses me off. Cause why? Like, not again.
Okay, grief confessional. I feel like when my mama died, my father died. And he's very much alive.
We're going there today. Say more. Wow.
So, and I think part of it, I mean, I hope you don't die, like, you know what I'm saying? Stay well, my brother. But, so there was always a bit of a disconnect, right? Because my mom was, you know, single mom in it, right? It's me and her, and it had always been me and her. Of course, I knew him, and, you know, I had a relationship with my father's side of the family, and I knew my grandma and my uncles and all that. But where your ass was at, like you was, and, you know, just the presence was missed. And after a while, I eventually kind of just put my hands up to the relationship, just because, you know, you get that like kind of ornery kid thing where it's like, well, I didn't make me, so I don't have to try here. Like, this is you did this, you should be the one giving the effort. You. And I don't know if it's considered fair or unfair at this point. It just is what it is.
Correct.
But my mom was still very much like, no, you need to call your dad. You need to do this. Right. You need to check on him. Right. And so when she left, so did a majority of the reminders. Now, shout out to my sister. She always send me a text message that says, hey, it's Father's Day. Don't forget to hit Dad up. Hey, it's Dad's birthday. Hey, don't forget Dad was a vet. Hit him up for Veterans Day. And I'd be like, you right about that. And so, in my big age, I now know that my father's birthday is in April. Don't ask me what day it is, but it's in April, I think.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. I'm sorry. But also, I think when my mom passed away, I didn't particularly like his response. But I also didn't take into account that he was probably grieving too for a while. Like, I'm sure my grandma told him that he should have married my mama. And there may have been some regrets there or whatever the case may be. And so I feel like he ran a bit as well.
That's layered.
Yeah. And
it's so layered.
I feel like he did not understand me. Like, okay, let's see, how many Mother's Day passed? Maybe 4 Mother's Days passed before my grandma died, his mom. And on none one of them Mother's Days did I ever hear from my father until this most recent one, when his mama was dead too. He was like, hey,
people don't know till they know.
Niggas
we
don't
said
know
that
till they know.
We had said
It's
that
so,
last season. Remember, people don't know till they know.
But I don't think.
But it's hard when you're grieving and you're right. So first of all, you miss your mom, right?
Yeah.
And you're expecting a certain response from your dad, right? Yeah. Because you think he knows.
Or would at least give a fuck, like, damn, nigga, you old. You know people's mamas didn't die before.
But it don't hit you. Like, we have this unique experience of, you know, the shitty experience of, like, you losing our moms. And even then, I feel blessed to have at least had her for 25 years. You know what I'm saying? I was 25. People lose, you know, I had friends who lost their moms in high school, you know, even earlier than that. And I couldn't imagine navigating the world like that, you know, prior to having become an adult. But it's just like, we take for granted that people know better. But if they haven't had the experience till in their 50s or 60s,
how would they know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for a while he was dead to me. That's heavy. I called him the other day though. Very awkward phone call, but I called though. Getting better.
That's healing. That's deep.
So proud.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up, sis.
Thank you. Call y'all daddy or something if y'all can, if y'all feel like it. Or don't.
I've been rubbing my head so much. Baby, what? Sister, what is happening?
I don't know.
No, but that's real. Because my father and I have a different relationship. But, and it's fine now, but we weren't speaking at my mama's funeral. Because I didn't like the way he handled her illness. And it's kind of similar to you in that I had to look at my dad and be like, this man was with this woman since she was 8, they were 18 years old. So, watching her die probably was not the easiest. Not that it was easy for me to watch my mom die, but, from his lens, and whether or not I think he handled it right or whatever, right, wrong, whatever, just having to navigate forgiving him for that part because he showed up so well in the, once my mom died, he was like Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
so it's really kind of interesting because to this day, I still struggle with that internal conflict because it was just like, fight me. Meet me outside, sir. But also, thank you for everything. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's like you said, your dad is getting better. Like people just learning through your own journey how people can grow and it's a test, right? And so many times people will get one thing wrong and be like, oh, fuck them. But it's maybe they got number 1 wrong
and number 2, but 3 through 10, all right,
that's still 80%.
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
I was about to say, yeah, that's 8, right? Unless you got 2 wrong. If you get 1 and 2, baby, one thing I can do is algebra, like Beyonce said. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, I know algebra. Don't play with me.
Another reason why I just do not understand why they. Well, no, let me stop. Because I actually am a very smart individual.
No, you're very smart. We're just very unserious, serious people.
Man, teaching people kids geometry, Greek confessions. I hated my job because my mom was dead.
And it reminded you of her?
Yeah, she was a teacher for 30 years.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go and be a teacher?
Yeah.
Wait till
why did you do that?
Good and dead. I don't know. No, I was broke.
That's a great bow. I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to do it. Stop it.
No, seriously, the story of how I ended up teaching, very, very random. So I was out doing DoorDash, and she asked me what I was doing. I was like, I'm straight. And then she said that DPS was hiring at some number that I never saw in my life. And I'm like, okay, bet. I'll go do that. What do they want me to teach? And so originally, I think I was probably supposed to teach high school chemistry or something. They had a position open at Cass. And so that was the whole thing. It was like, this position open at Cass. You can come here. I will help you be a good teacher. Just get here. You already got a degree in chemistry. Just come on. Right. I'm like, all right. Bet. Studied for this test. Took the chemistry test. Passed the chemistry test by the grace of God. No, seriously. The testing lady was like, we've never seen anyone come in here taking past the chemistry test on the first try. I was like, okay, well, shout out to me. And then come to find out that was the wrong test. So I didn't get any of the chemistry positions I applied for. Funny. But the principal at Southeastern was like, well, what math did you take in college? I was like, well, I went up to Calc 3.
You did?
Yeah. I got
Baby, I dropped Calc 1 so fast at Howard. I got in that room and I could not understand a word that man was saying. I never went back.
Who did you have?
I don't even remember. He was a young European man with an accent that it was beautiful for him, and I'm sure he was a lovely person. For calculus, baby, I need English spoken to me very slowly when trying to understand. I was like, I'm out of here. And the crazy thing is, Bree had told me, she said, Britt, just take pre-calc, right? And I was like, no, I took pre-calc in high school. I want to challenge myself.
No, sis.
I text her that day. She was like, I told you. I was like, you were so right. You went up to Calc 3?
I did. Now, the man didn't ask me what grade I got. I got a D.
Baby.
But I took the class. I was online. Scholarship. I did not get an F, and honestly, as a senior, that's all that mattered to me. As long as I didn't get an F.
The conversation today is a wild one, baby. What?
As long as I didn't get an F.
And why he didn't ask you what you got? I got questions.
Why do it matter? Because the issue was I only needed to have taken and passed college algebra in order to be qualified to teach high school algebra. I went to Calc 3. He was like, oh, great. What I got in Calc 3 was irrelevant.
Okay. At that point, correct. Because you at least had to pass Calc 2, right, to get to Calc 3.
Correct.
I see the logic.
Correct.
I see the logic. Okay.
Yeah. So he was like, what did you take at CAS? AP Calc. Son, BC? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, you sure? He was like, who's your teacher? I told him. He was like, all right, bet. You good. Bet. Right? Nobody asked for a transcript first. Great. Algebra positions gone. They was like, you can teach geometry though. Why would I want to teach that? Everybody hate that class.
That's true.
I don't want these young black children.
I ain't never seen a B in my life till I saw geometry, baby. And I was proud of that B. Geometry and Orgo.
I love
the Orgo. Only 9 A's of my lifetime.
But I didn't get an A in Orgo, I don't think. Or did I?
I ain't never seen no other letter till them two.
But what happened was they was like, okay, well, cool, you could teach geometry. And I'm like, all right, bet. They was like, yeah, you got to take another one of them tests, though. I'm like, okay. They was like, yeah, it's a math test, and you got to take it by this date. And so I'm like, all right, bet. Didn't think about that test no more times. 1 week from date, I'm like, right, I have to take that one test.
Right.
Lucky for me, I test well. When it comes to standardized testing, I figure some answers out. And so I took it past that one. All right, bet. But it was the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. I remember you be at my house.
It was terrible.
Baby.
I hated it so bad, and I couldn't call my mama.
Yeah.
And that part sucked because as much as I love my godmama, she taught chemistry at CMA, at Renaissance.
Yeah.
So at these illustrious high schools in the city. But I feel like she didn't necessarily encounter the type of student that I had. My mama, though, she taught special ed in the hood. Mm-hmm. So she knows these children. She understands their parents.
Yeah.
Different type of time. Not saying that, like, those students don't exist in the quote-unquote academically elite spaces, because they do. Very smart kids. Mm-hmm. But the type of kid, like the culture of it.
Yeah.
And my godmama could not help me with that.
Mm-hmm.
She believes the children should just listen. I love her. Mm-hmm. That was not the case.
Yeah.
I wanted my mama.
Yeah.
And I could not call her. And therefore, I hated it. Long story short.
Long story less long.
It sucked. But I did enjoy my time with the kids. I like the kids. Yeah. Teaching them math, please. Yeah. So I'm gonna teach them something else. Teach the children how to do podcasts.
There it is.
It's gonna be an interesting time.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be good at it though.
I agree. I think that it's gonna be a really great experience for everyone involved.
I think you're gonna be good at it.
I think high schoolers are terrible people.
Not terrible people.
But they're also really
first of all.
No,
they're not terrible people. Because it's such a hard time to be hormonal. Everything's changing about like your hormones.
That's the part that makes them terrible.
The pending responsibilities, the changes.
Yes, trying to understand their own authority, trying to still figure out how to respect
prefrontal cortex not done developing.
All of that. combination. Terrible. If they get.
You're not finna talk about these kids, bruh. You're not finna talk about them kids like that. They're not terrible people. It's a terrible time. They're good people in a terrible transitional time.
I said you wasn't in there with me. You wasn't in the trenches.
I wasn't.
When the little girl. Okay, anyways. All of that to say, I do think high schoolers are terrible people, but I love them. I really do. Which is why if I ever had to teach again, I'm for sure pick your high school. What? It's lit. They just. Man, this is not even what that's about. What is we not?
You said you wanted your mama though.
I want my mama,
and that's probably a conversation you would have had with her.
Yeah,
and she would have told you they're not terrible people.
She liked middle schoolers, who I think are worse.
That is a tough time.
What?
That's a very tough time.
6th through 8th grade.
Yeah, that's a tough time.
Absolutely not.
But we need people to do that.
I taught them kids before too.
Gems. Your mama was a gem.
She was literally a gem of a person.
Yeah.
And sorry for your loss. Mine too.
Very ghetto.
So ghetto.
Very ghetto.
But I'm glad that she spent so much of her time like giving back to the world in that way.
Yeah.
Because even when we post about the podcast or whatever, some of her former students have found me and have reached out, and they've lost their mama too, and we all just kind of going through it. And you think about how your teachers kind of become your at school mamas, and so losing people like that, it's like, oh, you kind of knew her more than me, huh? Because she spent 80,000 hours a week with you. I was very jealous of her students. That's another reason why I didn't want to be a teacher. Because being a teacher and having a kid sucks. Because I feel like the kids at the schools getting all the patience, and then you come home, you mad at me because Billy in third hour pissed you off. But then after being a teacher, I realized she didn't have no patience for their ass either.
Look at that, full circle. Look at that. She was cussing Billy in third hour the hell out.
I'm telling my mama you cussed at me, Miss Edison. Tell her. Tell her. Tell your mama. Because she probably gonna cuss at you too. Because what are you doing right now? Don't make me cuss you out. It is several times I had to get with, but you gotta meet people where they at.
You do.
And that's the thing about high schoolers. I think I could come down to high school. I couldn't come down to middle school. I don't think.
That was Loretta's.
She taught high school for 1 year.
She was out of there. Everybody got their bag.
She was the most annoying person I ever knew in my life. That 1 year she taught high school.
Everybody got their bag.
I said, oh no.
Everybody got their bag.
Oh no, ma'am.
Everybody got their bag. But I love that experience, even though you couldn't talk to your mama, helped you understand that, like, because this whole time in your life, right, you're like, she ain't got no patience. I'm jealous of her students. And I just love that moment where you said, like, she ain't got no patience for them either. I love that. The stories we tell ourselves until we know better, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mom used to say, just keep on living.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
We can. Yeah. Look.
Drop it.
Cause baby. Okay.
Dang.
That's it right there.
Okay, so did grief ever make you do some strange shit? It made me become a teacher.
We're done.
Tell us.
We're done. I'm done.
On the
man.
Instagram, Facebook. Out of all the shit I did, teaching was probably the strangest.
Oh my God.
Okay, love y'all, bye.